Hello, 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 everyone. It's Dashington, and today I've got a very exciting video for you. I've got an interview with the one and only Nuclehon. Nuclehon, if you want to introduce yourself for those who might not know you.
Yes, hello everyone. So I'm Nucleon. You might know me as either the guy who trying to answer every question on the Alto Discord, but also the creator of ExAltered, which is the one of the unofficial altered clients out there.
Yeah, so very happy to have you, and very excited to just play a few games with you and ask you some questions. So let me start by doing my mana really quick.
Yeah, me too. Looking at my hand.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, I guess for a first question, I think you've made it pretty clear that Muna is your favorite faction, and I sort of wanted to ask you why that is right now, and sort of go from there.
Wow. Yeah. On the Discord, I picked Muna at first just because before knowing any card, like not even the rules of the game. When I joined Discord, I picked Muna because it just seemed like really chill, really like in touch with nature and that stuff. And I really
Right.
wanted to know where it was going in terms of gameplay, like before seeing anything.
Of course. Yeah, I feel like that's very
So
reasonable.
yeah, it was just was really intriguing. So I wanted to see that in action,
And
I
then
guess.
yeah, of course. And then I guess sort of building on that, do you have a favorite, I suppose, card?
Hmm.
Is it one that we
Um.
haven't seen yet? Or
Oh,
maybe you have a favorite
yeah,
one that we
like
have seen?
yeah, of course, they were very interesting kind of coming out, but like that was revealed. Um, like you can't go wrong with Shroom, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Mm, um, I think there's a lot of potential. Like we've seen. So this is a card that was spoiled like some time ago, but this isn't in the game yet, which is Gift of Self.
Oh, yeah.
Which is really something that you don't expect to see in Altered because I think
I
it's
agree,
Altered
yeah.
is really marketed as something that's very like very positive,
Mm-hmm.
very optimistic, and having a sacrifice mechanic, which is admittedly this isn't like really killing someone.
Yeah.
It's more like you're like dissolving a manifestation of a character,
Right.
but
I always thought
it's
that was
still
kind of
something.
funny too. It's like, oh yeah, this is a super happy, super cheery game, but also if you sacrifice your beloved character, you can draw 2 cards.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
but
always thought it was funny.
yeah, past the surprising effect, it's more like this is the only mechanic which cannot be exploited right now. We even have like a whole hero that can be played
Yeah.
because that wasn't made yet. That there's no sacrifice effect yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm really willing to see what people do with it. Not only the sacrifice part, of course, but the drawing 2 cards. And
Yeah.
also, we also know that the rare one will let you draw 3 cards.
Yeah,
And
I always like that when it was in ExAltered because it used to be, and
yeah,
um, I never played the rare version. I don't know. I don't know why, but
yeah, but three cards seems absolutely crazy.
it
Like
is for 3 mana as well. It is
yeah,
very good. Um,
and but it wasn't played back when it was inside the game because there was no effect that reacted on sacrifice.
yeah,
And when you have like Lindio and also I think there's a
the Stargazer.
yeah, the Stargazer also has a like effect ability, sacrifice ability. I think maybe Gift of Self will be much more played.
Oh
I think.
yeah, for sure. I mean, you're just gonna be able to get so much value for 2 mana, and that's gonna be, I think, a really fun area to
Mm.
explore. All right, so we're sort of jumping around here a little bit. Uh, what is your personal history? As I think about what I want to do really quick, what's your personal history with card games?
Okay. Actually, I come from more board games than card games.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a really board game guy. I have like I don't know, 150 games I think at
Wow,
home.
yeah.
And but I've always watched like TCGs, but from a distance. Not really because I mean, well, why I watched from distance because the cost was very scary, like the cost of entry
Mm-hmm.
of playing a TCG.
Of course.
So yeah, I was a bit
As
scared of that.
Yeah, as someone who plays played/plays Magic the Gathering, that game is either you're super in or you're not, and
Hmm.
it it can be really like, do I really want to spend this much money on some
Yeah.
cardboard? But then I just like backed the Altered Kickstarter for quite a
Hmm.
bit of money, and it's like, this is so different for me, you know. I've never been one to spend like a lot on stuff
Oh
like
yeah,
that,
me
but
neither.
um, it's a very close game right now. I'm like
Yeah, because I'm not
I'm trying to
really.
focus on the interview, but also, ugh,
Yeah,
trying to
I'm
beat
not really playing good either.
I'm trying to beat what I'm assuming is my deck list, which I really appreciate.
Yeah, finally recognized.
Yeah, thank you for playing that, and of course even implementing it into the game. That's so awesome.
Oh yeah. I was at first planning to ask for community decks for the last 6 heroes too, but like half of them are unplayable right now, so
Yeah,
I'm holding on to it
yeah, that makes
until
sense.
we get more cards.
Okay, and then next question: what led you to decide you wanted to create ExAltered?
Hmm. So when the print and play, the first one was revealed back in, I think it was late October last year. First of all, I wanted to test it out, but there was no one near me who wanted to play it.
Right.
The people who could be able to play it with me were people like remotely, so online.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I thought, yeah, it's I gotta make an online version. So first I did it on Tabletop Simulator.
Mm-hmm.
So in a few hours after the print and play was released, I did that.
In a few
And
hours, wow.
yeah, it's about Tabletop Simulator. It's when you know it's not that that long because you don't have to like code any effects or something. You just try to find a clean version of the card. You cut them and you put them in on the board.
Okay, yeah.
So not too hard. And then a week passed. I even got at the time. Oh damn!
I had a pretty good line here.
At the time, I even got like in the week that my tabletop simulator mod was up. Support from Equinox directly to provide me with the French cards, which were kind of an exclusive thing because
Oh
there was
yeah.
no French print and play, just Dutch English print and play, and they gave me the French card to make them into my mod.
That's
So it was pretty
awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
And eventually a week passed or so, and at the time, so I make video games on my free time, but I had no big project yet to like sync some some real time on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I I thought, you know what? I think I can do that. I think I can do like a card simulator for Altered because I think it deserves it first of all. But
Oh, it totally does. Yeah. And I sort of asked some of my ExAlt's team members,
yeah.
like what they wanted to say. I asked them like if I were to do an interview with Nuclehon, what would you
Oh
want
yeah.
to hear? And they were like, we just want to tell him that we're so happy with how well he's done, and I have to
Wow.
reiterate that. I've got one question from Aaron that I'll add up later here, but yeah, they're all like super thankful, and I want, yeah. So.
Oh damn you! That banishing gate doesn't look very good.
Ooh,
Yeah.
ooh.
Oh yeah. Um.
Oh no.
Sorry.
Okay. Well, I think about what I want to
What's
do
the question
next.
again?
Yeah. I'm focusing on this game. Yeah. Okay. I'll just go to a next question. I think we got
Okay.
what we needed for that one. So, what have been some easy and hard parts of developing ExAltered?
I think the hard part and the easy ones are pretty much the opposite of what people think is either easy or hard. So, for example, adding new cards, it's mostly hard because when I had a card that is not like at all planned in the engine, like I made the engine. I made a post on Twitter recently to say that, but the engine was made specifically with the demo cards in mind. At the time, I knew absolutely nothing of what was supposed to come in the core set.
Right.
And that was, of course, that was a gamble because you can't know what is coming. But when a new card is revealed, sometimes the engine like doesn't fit like at all. For some cards, I had to rewrite a huge part of it. I think the worst one recently, well, it's not very recent now, but it was Pain Prison.
Oh yeah, I
So
remember.
it's a Lara card that is. I don't think it's very often used. I'm not sure, but
Yeah.
Anyway, so the effect for those who don't know is that it's basically a removal for a single card, but the twist is that you can discard a card from your reserve to reduce the cost, and that is extremely annoying to figure out what to do with it, because when you think about it, the cost is calculated before you even play the card. That's why some of the cards are highlighted, for example, in your hand, so you can know when to play them.
Yeah.
And also, of course, when I play a card, there is a checker that will see if you have enough mana to play it. But, for example, if you have 3 mana left, the cards cost 5 at base, but you can reduce it to 3. And if you have 3 mana when you play it, so I have to allow it to be played.
Yeah.
But I have to require the user to discard a card, so I have to check if they are card reserve. But what if they don't want to reduce a card? Then they aren't able to play the card, but retroactively. So I already let them play it, but now they can't. So I have to reverse everything. It took me, I think, about 2 days for that card alone. There was a second demo decks drop that is now the new print and play feature.
Yeah.
That included Paint Prison.
Oh boy.
And
yeah.
Yeah, the entire new drop, I spent 30 minutes on every single card except Paint Prison. And Paint Prison alone took me 2 days.
I think I remember there's something similar that you had talked about with the Axiom Ouroboros. With the resupply and like looking at the top two, because he had to create this whole new window and everything. Oh, now what do I want to do?
The Ouroboros. Oh, yeah, that was a big one too.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately for that one, I would be able to reduce some of the stuff I use. If you played Aurak, for example,
Oh, right.
yeah, you have the window on the left that lets you choose a card either to play it or ignore it. So I built that on top of the Ouroboros. But now that I think about it, Aurak was also super annoying to implement.
And that's a whole hero too. That's not just.
Yeah.
It's not just a one card.
Yeah.
I would say your turnaround time was still really good on the new heroes, and the fact that they're already into ExAltered is so fun. But as I bounce that right back to your hand, and get a really big mage dancer, which
Oh
is
my god.
this is all I want to do in the deck. And now that with Afanas, it does it even more so. Okay, good. I was like, draw me my card. Cool. But anyway, so sort of switching gears once more. What was going to the event at Equinox like?
Oh yeah. So yeah, the launch party. So there were a few members of the community invited. There was Amaury, Pierre, and Streisand, who are on the Discord. They also interact in English. That's why I mentioned them.
Yeah.
And of course there were other community members, but some of them were testers for some of them. So I didn't know them that much because they usually don't. I think the playtesters of Altered don't interact as much on the Discord.
Mm-hmm.
Like I haven't seen them a lot. It's mostly members of the community who arrived around September, October of last year.
Right. I didn't know
So,
Sarizen got to go. That's so cool as well.
Yeah, I don't remember why I was invited for because you had to have been a contributor to the community to get invited, like in any way.
Right.
I think, but Streisand is a tester now, so
Oh, sweet.
that's probably why.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and yeah, the launch party was great. So there were like several parts. People who came in the morning. Yeah. People who came in the morning were presented the game. Then there was like this big tournament based on the factions, but that was mostly for the influencers.
Right. Yeah.
Like the content creators. But I got to meet a few people, like some people from Equinox that I haven't met yet.
That's super cool.
Also, I keep playing, but I have no removal so I think I lost already.
Let's go!
I just keep playing cards until my time's runs out.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I was so happy to see that they gave you an invite.
Get the boost.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah, so I thought it was so cool that they gave you an invite, and yeah, that's pretty much that whole statement. I was just like really excited that they recognized what you were doing and how much you're benefiting the community. And I guess I'll send this guy away.
No, how am I gonna win?
There's no chance. But yeah, that was a good first game here, and we'll get to hop into the next one.
Wow, I don't know who made my deck, but it's horrible.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably some guy who thought about it for a bit and worked on it really hard, actually, I bet. So I bet he like tried super hard to like get his deck implemented into the game. I don't know. Probably some weirdo. Who knows?
Yeah, if I catch him.
I'll shoot you
that's
another.
my fault for not doing any deck building whatsoever. So it was either that or a starter deck.
That's fair. I can't blame you for that. You are so busy. But now play some Gulrang.
Yeah, let's try that one.
And question do we want to start this game with? As we think about what we want to mana. So, I've got some roadmap questions for you.
Oh yeah.
Do you believe you're, and we already sort of talked about it, so this is kind of interesting question, but do you believe you're still making good progress on the game, or has it become a little more difficult at times, or a little bit of both?
Well, the big thing that has changed is that I've come to a point where I can't just make spawn updates, because if I have to make an update, I have to first of all upgrade the servers, so I have to kick everyone out,
Yeah.
and them to download the new version, which is admittedly quite annoying for some people. So now I can only make like big releases periodically.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that's not everyone's cup of tea. It's understandable. Unfortunately, that's all I have.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's also a problem for when there's new cards out, because they have to wait until the new version comes. Wow, that's a very strong turn one.
I know they just revealed Ada Lovelace.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, like, when that happens, you're like, oh, good, I can just re-implement this card that was already in. It makes it a little easier.
Copying and pasting from my, because I have like I call it the sideboard internally, but
oh yeah.
Wow, that was a horrible top deck.
What do I want to pay this
I
one
call it
mana?
sideboard, but it's like all the cards that I have already made but are not in the game yet. So that includes, of course, cards like Gift of Self, like I talked earlier. And most of the cards were spoiled. There was Muna Caregiver. I think people forgot that card really fast because it was like in the game for one version or something.
Oh right, yeah, the like Dragon Tender card. The one where they have like the dragons or the eggs.
Oh my god! Did you just make like the perfect day 1 and day 2?
I guess, yeah.
Oh my god!
This is a really strong start, especially against Lyra, where a lot of your cards will have 0. But I think you still have an opportunity here to sort of punish me.
I think I have one thing to do, which is this one. Up.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah.
And then.
Yeah, that's a good. Bad. Yeah, that's a good choice actually. I saw that you could have double advanced that turn, but definitely getting rid of the carrier makes a lot of sense when you have the opportunity. Okay. Next question. Can you give a hint on what your manual draft mode is going to look like? Yeah,
sure. So, because it's coming up, I think it's coming in beta like fairly soon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know when this video is coming out, but
I'm gonna try to get it out like very quickly, just because I know if I don't, it might get put off. So. Yeah.
So depending on when it's released, it's probably the first beta will be this weekend.
Awesome.
I will have some time. So the beta will have, like from the start, the manual draft mode and ranked matchmaking.
Wow.
So hopefully, and also bonus features. Ooh, teasing.
Ooh.
But yeah, for the manual draft, so the idea is that there isn't a lot that is happening directly within ExAltered, and it's mostly how do I say this? It's mostly the draft happens outside. Like you won't have to like do the draft by printing proxies or something, but there is a tool that is used to draft.
Awesome.
On it that you will be able to join with a group. This one's funny. Oh, too bad. You're about to find a group, and then you will be able to export that that deck you drafted into ExAltered directly. But to do that, oh, nice one. To do that, I had to make it possible to have a draft deck inside of ExAltered, because for those who don't know, the draft deck building is very different. First of all, you have 30 cards minimum instead of 40. You have 3 factions maximum, like 3 different factions in the deck, and something that that wasn't very much discussed, but I am very aware about it because it was quite a challenge, is that you can play without a hero.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even think about implementing that into
Yeah.
ExAltered. That's weird. Yeah.
That detail alone was super annoying, because inside the game it's not really that difficult to change, because the hero in ExAltered basically just acts as a permanent. It's that's basically the same thing.
Right. Yeah.
It's just you can remove it. That's it. But for the stats, for the matchup stats, like for example, if you have like Gulrang against no hero, how does that impact the stat? How does that change the stat of Ordis, of Gulrang, etc.? So what I did was for that and for rank matchmaking, there was a huge rework, like under the hood, of how stats are handled directly on the server, but also in the client itself. It was a fairly big task. So I hope everyone will be happy with it.
I mean, just the fact that there is going to be some version of draft makes me really happy. Limited is like I would say my favorite sort of game mode in most card games, because it really levels the playing field in the sense of like it's all dependent on how you draft and what cards you pick in particular. So having that in the game already is so awesome and exciting.
I hope it will be for most people.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I got super lucky with that.
Oh my god!
I just need to stall this game out as long as possible.
That's crazy.
I have not had much success with this deck yet, so I'm happy with this so far. But yeah, that's great news. Got another question for you. And this one's coming from Aaron from the Exalts. What do you think about the future development of the ranked ladder? Is it going to reset monthly? No resets? Will there be a leaderboard? Do you not want to spoil that yet? However you want to approach the question.
So I think I can give you a little like exclusive and say exactly how the rank matchmaking will work, because that is, so I studied a bit. Wow, summon. I studied a bit on how other games do it, and it's difficult to make a very let's say accurate matchmaking, because the basic system you think of is for example Elo, which is used for chess. There are many alternatives, but it's like very it's a very I don't know how to say it, down to earth matchmaking. There's no fancy like bronze, silver, gold, etc.
Okay, yeah.
So I thought about that at first because I wanted something simple. The algorithm is ready to implement pretty much anywhere, but I think since it's like it's a free game, it's not very serious. I think there's not gonna be like a huge event with like a 6-figure prize pools. So I just wanted to make something that is easily understandable and also, well, just fun.
Right, yeah, of course.
Which is, so there are approximately 10 ranks.
Okay.
The idea is that you have you start at cardboard rank, so the lowest possible.
Cardboard,
Uh,
nice.
yeah, then you move on to there is wood, stone, glass, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, and this one is still under construction, but a master, which
Ooh.
is a limited pool of player. Like
Oh,
for
okay,
example,
yeah.
only the top 20 players of ExAltered can
Oh,
be
wow.
master, and it's like it rotates.
That's cool. That's really cool,
Uh,
yeah.
so for the first few ranks, so cardboard and wood mostly, you can't go down, so you can only win points. Of course, if
Mm-hmm.
you lose, you gain 0, but
Right.
you can still gain points. I have no idea what I'm doing this game.
That's okay. I'm looking at my one card in my hand that's not very good, and I don't know what's gonna happen at all. So this is great. Very impactful. One
Wow,
drop, yeah.
actually it was, but I have this one.
No. But yeah, that sounds really great, and looking forward to it. And I'm sure everyone else who's a big fan of ExAltered is as well. Man.
And yeah, so other thing about rank matchmaking is that so I will try to match people based on their rank. So for example, if you're like bronze, I will try to match you with bronze, but if times goes on, I will try to see if there are silver or glass players available.
Mm-hmm.
You will gain or lose more or less points based on the difference of level between the two players, etc.
Right.
So it's very like um, I invented the entire thing. There is no like professional algorithm behind it. That's why we use the beta server to tinker with it.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, so I expect all of you who are listening to come and play on the beta server. The idea is yeah, so you play rank matchmaking as much as possible, and then you tell me whether you progress too fast or too slow, or you're stuck and you shouldn't be, etc.
Yeah.
So we can try to like all together figure out a way to make a fun but not really high stakes rank matchmaking. And of course for the leaderboard, this one I'm not thinking about it right now.
That's fair. Yeah.
Because this is something that can be done like retroactively. So I'm not too worried about it. Of course, if I just spend some time in like how the data are processed, I can probably figure out a way to like print a report of the top 50 players of ExAltered.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not something I have in mind first because, as you can see from the date of the live version, this is very, very long to make.
Oh, I
Like,
can imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like brand new. It's a whole new way of playing. I finished up pretty much everything that's about how the stats and game data are handled. So you will be able to sort out stats based on the queue, so ranked or custom, etc. And I reworked some of the stats queries too because otherwise that would be too long.
Oh, right.
Yeah, there was a lot of work, like I said, under the hood, but I hope you will like it and you will help me make it better in the better version.
I can tell you that no matter what, myself and the rest of the community will just be happy to have all of these new features, and you're being super generous in how much you've given us, and just in the fact that having such a very playable game for a game that technically doesn't even exist yet. So
Yeah.
I can assure you that everybody's happy, and we're happy to see what comes next. As I'm totally losing this game. I don't get Gulrang yet, and I don't know what I necessarily need to get Gulrang, but I'm doing my best. So forgive me, dear viewer. But anyway, I think a last sort of topic area that I kind of wanted to talk about is the BGA announcement. If you don't
Yeah.
know, for the viewers, the last announcement for the Kickstarter came with the added bonus of the BGA. Oh, I totally meant to put a card in my mana. Okay, I'm focusing on talking. That's my bad.
Oh, you basically ruined your whole hero thing.
Yeah, I totally did. Well, crap. Anyway, that's okay. The interview is what's important. They announced that BGA will be sticking around, and it will be almost sort of an official deal for ExAltered, for Altered. And I wanted to ask Nuclehon here, did that sort of discourage you? Do you still plan to develop ExAltered going forward? Where are we at?
Okay. So, for transparency, I knew that BGA was coming, like before it was even with the demo decks, like just before Kickstarter.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it was coming, and I also knew that it was there to stay.
Okay.
Yeah, I had been informed, like not since the beginning. I was already well into ExAltered at that point, but
Right.
I did know that it was coming.
Okay.
And
go for it.
yeah, sure. Of course, it was not like devastating because when you think about it, I'm already like trading on thin ice. I know
Yeah.
I'm using so the assets are imported at runtime, so it's not like I'm packaging my game with official assets, but there is definitely some that are used like for the backgrounds and the overall look of the game, and of course this is I had absolutely not asked for any permission to make this game first. So it was already like I knew it could happen, but
big all in.
Yeah, I'm trying to play at the same time. Bam!
Wow. Okay. Well, here we are at the end of the game, but continue for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, I was saying yeah, BGA. And when it came out, I knew that there was a decision to make about whether to continue or not. So what I did is that I'm kind of doing both. So the idea is that I had features that were planned for version 1.0. So I already talked about it about this roadmap earlier on Discord, but the idea of 1.0 is that what's left to add is, so there's manual draft, there's rank matchmaking, which is coming in the 0.9. And there's also so there will be a 0.10 before 1.0.
Okay.
Which will have a tutorial. So this doesn't sound like much, but there's two big things involved. The first one is the idea of adding a tutorial to the game is I want ExAltered to be an entry point in Altered.
Yeah, of course.
I want people who know nothing about Altered, who just vaguely interested, to download ExAltered and learn everything. So they can have a few like mock games in the tutorial to figure out the mechanics and learn about like how the wheels work. There's you have two expeditions, but the characters they only stay for a day, but then they go into reserve, etc. And I want people to be able to learn everything with ExAltered, so they don't have to already be aware of all the rules and some of the meta game, I guess. Yeah. Because they will be able to join rank matchmaking and start with the beginners at first. So that's the whole point of doing like beginner ranks in rank matchmaking, that you can't lose, well, you can't lose points. So that's for that purpose. And also the other challenge about doing tutorial is it's quite a very technical one, but the game currently is only able to play a 1v1 game of Altered online.
Right.
And it doesn't sound very intuitive, but in the current state, I absolutely cannot do a local game, like
Oh.
a solo game,
Yeah.
because everything is like hardwired to only react to online commands, like between the client and the server.
Uh-huh.
So, and I will maybe crush some people's dream. I'm sorry if I'm sort of led you on, but there won't be in the foreseeable future a solo versus IA mode.
Okay.
So I've looked at my options with this ID, and I basically figured out that it was extremely difficult to make. Like
Yeah.
doing an altered AI capable of playing. You just give a legal altered deck to an AI, and they try to and they play with it. Is incredibly difficult. It's it's basically it could basically be a full-time job to make this up.
Right. Yeah, I can imagine that. And when you
And
are doing this just out of the goodness of your heart for no compensation right now, like the idea of putting a lot of time into an AI to play against it, I can see how that would get put on the back burner and it like not be made. Like I get it
yeah,
personally. Yeah.
it was one of the first thing on my roadmap. That's why there was for so long. Oh yeah, you still have it, but sorry, it will disappear too. The solo mode with the solo button with chains.
Yeah.
Yeah, this will be removed to reflect that it will not have a solo versus AI mode. Because yeah, like I said, um, making decisions like the whole point of making an AI that can play a card game is that it can read the effects of all the cards in their hand and reserve.
Right.
Look
Yeah.
at the board and figure out what's the best play. But even having the AI understand what the cards can do is insanely difficult.
Yeah.
Like for example, like we talked about like Pain Prison at the beginning.
Yes.
Like how do you decide which card is better to remove? How do you decide if the AI should play them and discard from their reserve? Like which card from the reserve should they discard? The weakest one, the biggest one, because it doesn't have enough mana to play. There are so many problems with making
Yeah, there are
an AI
just so
for
many
Arcade.
different variables that go into playing
Like I could
cards.
spend like 6 months just on that feature, and I'm not sure I can come up with something satisfying.
Right.
So I decided to discard it, unfortunately. So instead, there will be some sort of solo mode, which is the tutorial.
Mm-hmm.
So there will be like pre-arranged hands for
Right.
the computer that they will always make the same moves, and they will tell you, hey, you should play that card here because that will give you boost and something. But
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
it will look more like that. So this will be the quote unquote main feature of 0.10, because there won't be any other features, I believe, except for, of course, the new cards that will come out during that time.
Yeah.
And 0.10 will be the gateway to 1.0. So this was a huge tangent, but going back to the original subject, BGA.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I said, the original goal was to make that version 1.0,
Mm-hmm.
and there were a lot of features that were on the side that I'm looking at it like, do I really want to do them? It sounds very difficult. Like just an example, like multiplayer, like 2v2.
Yeah.
Uh, it would seem obvious for anyone who's ever played ExAltered that you would need to change almost everything about the game to make that thing.
Yeah,
make
no
that work.
kidding. And that's
I
definitely
barely
something
had
that could be
yeah
solved in Tabletop Simulator a
yeah
lot
sure
easier, but I can't imagine putting that into ExAltered. Like, there's a big reason why, like, Magic, for example, and Magic Arena doesn't have Commander. Like,
yeah. Even
uh,
though it's one of the most popular formats.
yeah, it adds a whole different level of complexity to the game and programming it, and so I can understand that for sure. Um, but
But yeah, I'm thinking yet like if I did that, like how awesome would it be? Like
yeah, yeah,
there's nothing technically limiting me to have a game with 4 players, and they all have that setup with the crossed expedition.
mhm,
But I would have to change basically everything. Like for example, in the current game of ExAltered, the screen is packed with a lot of elements, and that's
yeah,
only for 2 players. Like
mhm.
imagine how do I fit a 2v2 game
I
on one single screen?
I can't imagine what it would look like, especially when
Yeah,
it's sort of set up almost like in a square, since you have
yeah,
that cross, and you have a 16 by 9 window that's a very rectangular shape. Just how would you get each expedition to look?
I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah, oh my gosh, that'd be
But
crazy to do. Uh,
yeah, but yeah, I'm saying that because this is like on the list of features that would be amazing to have, but I know they would take a lot of time, so I'm not
mhm.
committing anything right now.
As a 2-person team, I'm sure wrong timeline. It would be a lot of commitment for the both of you. And like you were saying
Yeah,
as we were getting here that you have your job that you just got back from, and so
yeah.
I I can't imagine. You already put so much time in, and everyone is
Mm.
so thankful for that. So
Oh,
uh,
thank you.
yeah, of course. Is there
But
any
yeah, but
last bits you would like to add?
oh yeah, just finishing on that question because I still haven't answered.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Um, yeah.
Go for it.
So as of BGA existing, what I've decided to do is that I am committing on 1.0, which
Mhm.
will be draft, rank matchmaking, and tutorial. And of course, adding new cards as they come along. But after that, I'm giving myself the opportunity to like pull out at any moment.
Yeah.
If for any reason people start to get away from ExAltered and the player base is dwindling, like if there isn't, for example, just if there aren't enough people to play ranked, like there's not enough people in the queues to
Yeah.
play with you, there are only a handful of players in custom game, and
Mhm.
everyone is flocking over to BJ, I don't know, or anything else, but maybe there will be a third way to play, I don't know.
Right.
Then I want to keep the opportunity to get away from it at any moment. So I'm just saying I will continue working on it until 1.0.
Mhm.
Hopefully, keep making like small releases to add new cards and fix bugs, but no big
Right.
features.
Right.
And it's only if there is a lot of people still playing that I think they're going to stay and there is a lot of engagement on it,
Right.
then maybe I will get back to it and start working on new features. But that's not um, that doesn't depend on me, of course, unless there's a big bug that ruins everything. But I think that's more on the players we choose. I think the players will choose what they want to play on,
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
yeah, I haven't talked about it at all. But besides the commitment in time, there is also, of course, cost involved.
Yeah.
So
Hosting the servers is costing you
yeah,
stuff.
there are sync servers. There are other things also to kick on. So there's like a, it's very technical, but there's an orchestrator which basically what it does is that it handles all the central data, which is game data, accounts, and also managing all the other game servers.
Mm-hmm.
The big brain of ExAltered.
Right.
And yeah, this is like cost every month, and which is I think a lot of people who support the project will say, well, just let us give you money, because
Yeah.
many people have said this,
Yes,
like
a lot of people.
like a Patreon or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I've said it on the Discord too, but it may come after 1.0,
Right.
and that will be so the money I would, if I have money through that, then I will use that to reimburse what I invested in the last few months.
Mm-hmm.
And then if there are like a lot of engagement, this will also be a way to see how people are engaged with the project.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, that's where I stand on BGA. Oh yeah, and of course, I still want to make a collection play, but that
Oh
depends
yeah,
entirely.
yeah,
Just laying this out.
yeah. All right. Yeah, it was so nice to talk to you and hear how adamant and excited you still are about Altered and ExAltered. And I want to thank you again for doing something like this. I know
Well,
you just got back from work and grocery shopping, and yeah, so I thank you so much. It was so fun, and this is definitely a new thing for me as well, doing an interview like this. I hope
mm,
it went all right for you. um,
yeah, you did
but
great.
thank you. And you've obviously done such an awesome job with ExAltered already. So draft, matchmaking, and
Mm,
ranked matchmaking and tutorial are all awesome things that I know I'm looking forward to, and I'm sure everyone else is too. So, uh, I guess any last words, Nuclehon?
well, if you really want to thank me, if you ever pull an unique foil when the
Yeah,
Kickstarter is delivered, I
yeah,
will
yeah,
send
of
you my
course.
address. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Okay, thank you so much, and I
Thank
will
you.
catch you all next time.